morning to everyone and to all the Dolphin fans of Miami out there. I hope you're having a great day. Justin, as always, joined. Oh, I forgot to introduce my own self. I'm Rob Mosley, aka Dolphins Thirsty, and as always, I am going to be joined by Justin, JPF Scout on Twitter, and also known as Digging in the Trenches. So, good morning, and how's the weather out there in Colorado?
Oh man, it's another Colorado day. That's for sure. It just got done snowing last night, so it's a little snowy out there, a little cold. Typical Colorado weather. Nothing we can't handle out here.
Yeah, I know you're used to it. Here in Florida, we'd be freaking out if we had weather like that.
Right.
We break out the jackets, when it hits the 60s. We're like, oh, it's
Oh,
cold
what's up?
outside.
A new guest in the room there, Anthony Mazzano. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony. If you're still in here, good morning and welcome to the show. So, anyway, we're going to talk some NFL draft stuff today. We're going to talk about the Joe Casper hiring, of course. And Justin, I'm going to put the banner up and you can say why you think it's a good hire, and I will tune in when. All right, there you go.
Yeah, honestly, I like the hire. I've liked all the hires he's done so far. He's got some sort of like understanding on who he's getting. Maybe Vic Fangio and him didn't have a working relationship, but he knows who he is. Obviously, Vic's been coaching in this league for over 19 years. He knows his stuff. But Joe Casper and Mike McDaniels have a working relationship that goes back for when Mike McDaniels worked the Cleveland Browns. I think it was 2014. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong on the date or the year. But they do have a working relationship together. They've worked in the past. Same thing is with the Butch Berry hire. So I kind of like it because he's going to where he's familiar with, to where he's like, hey, I've worked with this guy in the past. We had a good working relationship. We might not have won the Super Bowl or anything, but I think he knows his stuff, so he knows he can get it done. In my opinion, just look at the guy's face right there. Me and Rob were talking behind the scenes. Look at his face. This guy is he looks to me like he's a dead ringer, you guys. I mean, he was what was it again, Rob? The player personnel assistant.
Yeah, in Cleveland.
Yep. I mean, I think that's kind of like code for like, hey, help me do some shopping and we're going to listen to your insight. He's a talent evaluator that's low key a coach as well. I think this is somebody the Dolphins are stashing, and they poached obviously from the Eagles, and it's someone they're stashing like, hey, don't look at us, peekaboo. Now you see me, now you don't, kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're trying to hide this dude back behind the scenes to make it like, hey, this guy could be something different for us later. Now, if you see the player personnel decisions start to change and the draft choices change a little bit, then I'm really going to be like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of changes, and here, Anthony has a question directed at you. So,
JP, question: since you do scouting, what is the one position that you've noticed the state of Colorado knows how to develop in terms of football? That's a very good damn question right there. To be quite honest, it's not like Colorado pumps out tons of product that you're always looking at, and it's like coming, from here always. But they are pretty damn good with offensive linemen. I have to say they're not bad. There's a couple of them that are floating around throughout the league out there they might not be studs yet, but maybe one day they will be. But they're not bad putting out offensive linemen. They're not bad at any position, to be quite honest with you. Here in Colorado, though, there's not like these studs like they have in Texas or like they have in Miami down there. In Miami and Texas and places like that, football is like literally playing throughout the ears. But down here in Colorado, they have every skill position, to be quite honest with you, but they really do good in offensive linemen. I've noticed there's a ton of them that are coming up and that are going to be better and that are going to be talked about later. They're not there yet.
Okay, sounds cool. And he also said that was the one hire that I think got questioned by Miami, but all we can do is hope that McDaniel knows what he's doing. He's worked with him. So I agree on the Butch Berry hire.
He said he's not a fan of the Butch Berry hire because I've looked at his previous stops and the rankings at his offensive lines. They've been ranked in the 20s, and I've experienced him as a Hurricanes fan. Yeah, I mean, in Colorado, dude. They had him here, in Denver fans, they didn't really like him either. Just don't take too much into the statistics, though, because I've seen statistics where his stuff improved. It wasn't as bad. Like even last year, they had their pass pass blocking rank was like 15th, which was mid rank, and their run blocking was, I think, into the 20s. Tell me right now you wouldn't take that pass blocking rank right now when we finish dead last. So I would take that. And I'll be honest with you, it's something let's see what happens here. No one really as right now. There's one dude that does shows. He does YouTube. Barry Cunningham had one come out. He said, "Hey, it maybe not be so much of the player, or excuse me, the coach that from the texts and the cryptic messages and stuff, but he's like maybe it tells into someone who's leaking that stuff, like the players who are leaking it. Maybe you don't want them in the building because it tells more about their character rather than Butch Berry's."
Yeah.
I kind of agree with him a little bit. These coaches kind of get thrown under the bus. It's really hard. A coaching job's really hard because as you know, the NFL stands for not for long when you coach badly. It's something that's touch and feel. It's a really hard position to be in. I don't care what position you coach.
And he does touch. Yeah, Florida, really, man. Their receivers, running backs, and defensive
They're
backs.
a factory, bro. Like defensive backs, like you just said it right there. They're a factory for NFL talent. Defensive backs, receivers, you name it, dude. Running backs. They're loaded down there. That's where all the talent comes from, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's why they all recruit in my neighborhood here. So,
They sure do.
Yeah, kind of. It's a popular place to come. All the big schools come to South Florida. That's why back in the day, the Hurricanes used to own the area and do so well recruiting. But now all these other big schools, they come in and they recruit, and boom, they took Miami's thunder for a long time.
Right.
So,
I think it's all
now
about
everyone comes.
In college. It's all about having a recruiter, someone who's like, rah rah rah. You want to join the university? You got to have somebody out there that's going to these houses and selling, doing a great sales job. Because if not, you're not going to be the number one recruiter in the nation.
No, not for sure. And because winning recruits everything. So Alabama has it set up on auto. Georgia has it set up on auto. That's what you have to get to, that point where you're just winning all the time and the school recruits itself.
Yes.
And then Nick Saban may come in to close the deal, but it's just like these kids, who's not going to want to go to Alabama or Georgia when they're looking at all you have to do is
he's like, look at these rings right here. You want to come play?
Right. Winning championships is fun on the college level, and then also the money that. Oh yes, we would get to that in a minute, but just winning. But then also you look at the NFL draft. And you say, oh my God, all these kids are coming out of Alabama, Georgia. That sells itself.
SEC,
to these
man.
kids.
SEC, dude. All the good talent is either usually in that SEC or the ACC.
So that's why they always get the best kids, and that's why they always stay the best conferences.
That's
because who doesn't want to play?
The rich just keep getting richer, don't they?
Yeah. So I think you mean the NIL, the image, name, and likeness. Yeah, that's a changing factor that we're going to see in the next few years. How much it really impacts schools, because now some guys are going to schools you're like, what? But you come to find out they had some kind of big deal, So,
right. I think
like
the thing that's changed,
Dion got some of the top recruits to come to little Jacks. He's really going to probably kick butt in Colorado, which I know you're hoping for.
Just wait till you see my CU Buffs back up there. I'm all excited for it. Honestly, I can't wait. As soon as they made that decision to sign him, I was like, oh my God, no way. No way. I was pretty excited about it, man, because he brings like an infectious energy, and like that's the type of person that's a good recruiter, is someone like Dion. He's like, you want to come play for prime time? You want to come to Colorado where we're going to make you shine? We're going to do the best of everything for you. Like, I could see it right now, man. That dude's going to be a world-class recruiter for 20, 30 years to come, and I hope it's for CU, and I hope we're winning championships and we take over. But
that'd be fun. I like college football, like I said, but I'm not a diehard fan of every team. Like I say here every day, I kind of follow the Gators because my son is up there at University of Florida, so it's kind of fun to watch them play. And he had season tickets.
It's crazy that you mentioned the University of Florida. I was looking at some mocks, and I'm not BSing you guys. I seen Anthony Richardson drafted number 1 overall in a couple mocks, and I was like, what? I mean, is this a typo? But no, man. Some people think that kid's
we said he was going to be overdrafted, but that would really be
number 1, though. I would be like, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be
so
crazy.
Anyway, yes, Alabama. He says they don't, that's a little shot at our two courts, but he's a Dolphin fan, so he's allowed.
Though they can do every other position, but they can't, for some reason, have a successback quarterback.
That's historically, I agree, but I know you think Bryce Young's going to be really, really good. So I know you think that. So
Yeah,
we just
like it's crazy. I've seen a lot of people talk about Bryce Young, and it's good morning, Steve. But you're either all in on someone like that, like a Bryce Young, and you're like, yo, the talent overrides the smaller stature, size, and the smaller build of the position. Like
but you're not
it's the
scared. I
same.
know he hasn't been injury prone, so you're not scared like he's going to be another Tua decent talent, but always getting
No, he
hurt.
hasn't been injury prone in the past, so I'm
I know
not going
that's
to
what.
worry
So I
about
think
that
that he
now.
has that on his
Like
resume. So
the
and good
Dolphins
morning,
took us straight
Steve
to,
of Real Talk Fins Talk every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. on the Fins Talk Sports
Sports
Network. There, I
Network.
got it out without messing it up. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Steve.
And while you guys are
So
at it, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell another friend. Thank you so much. We love all of you here. But yeah, man, I mean, there's a lot of people talking about this kid in the draft, and you're either real big on him or you're really not. I think the size has everything to do with the Bryce Young thing. It's got nothing to do with his game because he's a ringer, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro. He's got that off script intangibles that are like scary good, dude. They're nasty. He's like a just like damn it, dude. It's scary to say it, dude, but he reminds me of the dude who plays in Kansas City who just won a Super Bowl. He is that damn good. He's literally could get outside there. He's not a quarterback no more. Once he leaves the pocket, he's now a point guard. And when he does it, dude, he delivers it just like that. Little flips, little throws, little off rhythm throws, off balance throws where his arm angle changes. I'm telling you, that's the thing I look for when I scout quarterbacks, bro. Is what happens when it breaks down. Can you throw from different arm angles? Can you make the team better? You know, Bryce Young scares me a little bit. He's only 197 pounds. The size finally catches up to Kyler Murray. He said, I disagree. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I think Kyler Murray's getting a bad rap as well. That kid can throw just as good as anybody can. Yes, he's a smurf, but he can also run. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Size sometimes, yes, it has something to do with it. It does go into your mind seeing how these guys are getting knocked around. But sometimes the talent overweighs that, dude. And in this case for Bryce Young, it overweighs it, dude. It really does.
yeah, no,
And I know everyone's going to be like, no, dude, he's a smurf. No, he's a this. No, he's a that. Well, come talk to me in 5 years when the dude's winning Pro Bowls and
yeah, I know you said you ranked
MVPs.
him and you were surprised that you ended up ranking him so
Dude, I
high.
was
You
so
went in.
surprised. I was going through his tape like, no, and had
Yeah.
to keep coming back and back. And when I start doing that, dude, it's over, bro. I
And we'll
already
see.
know.
But Anthony, you're right for whatever reason. Historically, Alabama hasn't had the great quarterbacks go up, and I guess you would have to go way back to like Joe Namath or something back in the day, and so, and then whatever. But it's
Yeah, but that
just.
was the same. That's the same kind of reason why you shouldn't have drafted Tua. Then you sound
Oh,
like
I know,
me.
no,
I
I
mean,
don't
that
believe
sounds
in
like
that
me when I was
university
looking at
stuff.
Tua. I
I
was
know.
like, man, they don't. Alabama never pumps out quarterbacks. I hate lefties, but I still fell in love with Tua's tape. Still fell in love with the prospect because
And you
sometimes
can't
the
put them just because
talent.
what school they are. It doesn't mean they can't
Yep,
develop to be a,
you can't
you
do that.
know.
And sometimes the talent just overweighs all that crap. And you're like, he's a Smurf. He's small.
Like
He's
if
that.
Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech, I mean, Texas Tech's not exactly a quarterback factory either. So it's
Yeah,
just
and you
like.
know what? Who is it? Mel Kiper Jr. said that Mahomes was going to be a bust. He said that he didn't really believe in Mahomes. Just think about this, you guys. The draft is like a crapshoot. It's not like anybody knows anything solid on these dudes. You know, I honestly don't know. JP, but these comments are not coming from just me. These are top level Super Bowl winning executives in the NFL
Oh,
that are
I've
saying
heard
they
that
might
talk.
not want to be drafting Bryce Young in the top 10. Dude, again, don't care. I don't really care about what the top level NFL execs say. That's fine. Top level NFL execs aren't always right either. This thing happens time and time again. You see players come out of the league that shouldn't be there, shouldn't be drafted in the positions they are, that are small. Russell Wilson was small. He won a Super Bowl. There's lots of players that are small out there that have won Super Bowls. Maybe it is the position they get drafted in and where they go and like the system they're in, the coach they're with. Drew Brees, he wasn't that big. He won Super Bowl. I don't take that size thing too much into consideration. It's
I
more
know some
about
teams do. Some teams won't even
what you
put
do.
guys. Some teams do because I know like Jeff Ireland, he was all big about. He wouldn't even like put Russell Wilson that high on the board because he didn't like his size, so he went with Ryan Tannehill. But so it's
And
just.
how did that work out for you?
Yeah, I know exactly. So it's just like, but some do. I mean, Anthony's right in that fact that some teams do put a
Yeah,
lot
you're
up.
right. If you want to stick to the way things were done 20 years ago, dude, I'm old school as they're gonna get, bro. I love old school traditional football, but this game is not like that no more, and the game is changing. So you have to change with it. You can't just be
Yeah,
like, oh well, I'm not gonna draft this dude because he's 6 foot 200. All right, well that 6 foot 200 dude might just be the best quarterback you ever laid your eyes on, and you just didn't know because you're like, no, the size, I'm out. See, so you got to be more objectable in these things, especially when you're doing player evaluations, bro. You really do. You can't just be like, nah, this one thing is in, so I'm out on him. I've done that before and be like, damn, he is pretty good. So
yeah,
it happens.
I know. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I know that a quarterback is the one position people always want the
It's
size
rough.
at, and
It's
you
rough.
know, it's. But I think a lot of people now are scared with Tua because they're like, oh, Tua's, but Tua already had a history of coming in getting hurt, so at least he hasn't. JP, the difference between Russell, Kyler, and Bryce is not that Russell Wilson is at
Russell
5'11",
Wilson's 240 pounds, dude. Is that what you're telling me?
Wow.
No, he's not.
Well, I'm
I
sure
don't
he's
care.
looking it up. I don't know. I'll have to go
Go
look it
look
up.
it
But
up. I don't care if it says he's 240. That dude's not 225 dripping wet. So
yeah,
no.
yeah, he doesn't. But he may be all muscle. Who knows? So,
He's not 240 pounds, bro. That dude has to be a running
let me
back.
go see. I don't know. I don't know. I've never even thought of it. So you guys both have different.
I think the
I
dude's
don't
a
know.
little over 200 pounds, if
The
that.
5'11" I know as he was because he was under 6 feet, and people had that as a knock on him coming out of
I
the
just watched
draft.
that dude play live, bro. Live in the Denver stadium. Live. Watched him shred up the Chargers right before they went into the playoffs. He's not that small. He's really not. And he can move throughout the pocket a lot better than people think. I know everybody gets hung up on these tall quarterbacks, bro. I hear you because there's more tall quarterbacks in the league than there are shorter ones. I
Yeah.
get it. But that just doesn't fly with me, man. If you can play the position, you can play the position. See, look, Russell's 215 pounds. Anthony's like, he's 240 pounds. Let me see here. That's like a
Well,
25
he
pound
might be getting
difference.
his weight different places. Who knows? I'll probably look it
He's
up somewhere.
nowhere
But thank you,
near. Like
Steve and
Steve just
Anthony,
said,
for
215. Yes, Steve, that's his correct weight. He's like 5'11, 215. I wouldn't even say he's 215 dripping wet. He's probably more like 212.
well, thank you, Steve and Anthony. But yeah. Anyway, more on the Dolphins thing, Steve. I don't know if you were in here. We talked about Casper and his past connections to the
A good
Dolphins.
pickup right there, dude. The Dolphins are making some low key, really good pickups.
Yeah, I'll be writing an article on it here in a few minutes for my website, dolphinthursday.com. But yeah, Casper looks like, he worked with Fangio last year. At least they had some kind of relationship there. Fangio must have seen he had some talent and said, let's bring this young guy in. And
Good
then
pickup,
back
dude.
in Cleveland, Mike McDaniel and him overlapped one season in Cleveland when Casper was like what they call a quality, developmental prospect type coach. So, and then I think McDaniel was the receivers coach in 2014 for the Browns. So they had
Yeah.
1 year there. So maybe he has a little bit of knowledge of them in passing. So,
No,
and
I
yes,
think that
Russell is a strong guy though, that's for sure.
oh, he's strong. He's strong. He's a good quarterback. Like
Yeah.
he didn't have the greatest season last year, bro. Like people down here in Colorado were tearing this kid apart. They're like, damn, we gave this dude all this money and he sucks. And like, you think our fan base is bad? I mean, they're bad too, bro. Like I've seen these guys totally crap a couple quarterbacks right out of town. Tebow, Cutler. It happens, bro. Oh
He
yeah,
said
yeah,
he
definitely. I seen that. Yeah, Anthony, I get it now, dude. Trust me, they pump out some weird information out there on some of the websites on during draft weeks for these kids, and like say they're bigger than they are or taller than they really are, and you look at them, you're like, he ain't that big, is he? You go look back, like, damn, really?
I know in college they always try to make their kids look bigger, so
Right.
they get more attention inside. Then they get to the combine and say, 6'3",
That's
So
crazy, dude. Like I started looking back, our loyal guest comes in every show. Our boy, shout out to G Man. I was looking at that LSU linebacker a little bit, and I was like, damn, dude, he's only 223 pounds. I was like, G Man, what the hell?
oh, hey, speaking of
Maybe
him,
he's a thumper. There you are, G Man in the house. I was looking at the Bakersville kid. Noticed he was a little undersized, but I was like, if G Man likes him, there's got to be something to him.
did he look okay on film?
looks decent. Looks like he can run around and lay the wood a little bit. He's a little young, little green, little rough around the edges, but you can coach all that kind of stuff out. If you have all, I'm moving him to strong safety. Hell yeah, bro. There you go. It's crazy, man. It's our buddy Kendall Mack. Shout out to Kendall. If you're out there, I know you are.
Yeah.
He was real high on. He loves Alabama. He's an Alabama fan. He likes Alabama product. I mean, how could you not? They're SEC.
Of course.
I was
Yeah.
looking at that DeMarco Helms, and man, he was right. This kid's a freaking really good dude. Ended up scoring 100 on my SRS scorecard. He's such a good tackler. Like, this dude brings up the best run support I think I've seen in all the safeties in the draft. He literally comes up, steps up, fills. Good range, good mobility. You know, he's got really explosive agility. Great hips on this kid too, man. Oh, there you go.
He's asking you, Anthony's asking you about him, so I figure I might as well throw up his card there.
Yep, JP, do you think a guy like Jack Campbell might surprise everybody at the combine in terms of his coverage skills, athleticism, like Leo Chanel did last year? Oh, definitely. Yes, Anthony, I think you hit it right on the nail right there. His draft stock is taking a little bit of a nick, and it's going down just a bit. So is Pace's. So is Ivan Pace's Jr.'s. I can understand why Pace's is. But yes, I think this kid's going to surprise at the combine. I think he's a great fit in our scheme. As you can see right there, I have his tackling very high. When he hits you, there's not a lot of yards after contact, unless, of course, you're a bigger running back and you're going to fall down for 4 yards. But, you know, he's a dog. Look, his dog is a 10. That means he brings a nasty style of mentality to where he's coming downhill with a plan to hurt you. His coverage is really good as well. Look, his coverage is a 9. That dude's legit. His stack and shed is really good at a 9 as well. Overall, look, he's overall a great linebacker at a 95. Steve, I watched Ivan Pace tape. Oh my God, he's a wrecking ball. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I have that kid literally sky high rated at a 101 on my SRS scorecard for a reason. When I look at that Pace kid, he eerily reminds me. He's not the same size and stature as Micah Parsons, but he could do everything that Micah Parsons does. He can blitz like that. Maybe not with the same consistency and ferociousness off the edge right there, but once you get him in the league and can get him fundamentally sound, a peanut butter sandwich and in an NFL training program, he's going to get bigger, he's going to get stronger, he's going to get smarter, he's going to get a veteran to work under, put him under the wing, show him some tricks of the trade. He's going to get better. So I think that Ivan Pace Jr., he's just scratching the surface on what he really could be.
I haven't written him up yet. I know you have, so I'm going to go write him up soon.
Oh my God, he's one of my favorite players to scout in the whole
Steve
draft.
is chiming in on, they like fudge some people's height a little bit on these things to make them look bigger.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, they do. There's a good one right here. Oh, never mind. You already put one up. He reminds me of Little Ray Lewis. Damn. Hell yeah, G-Man. He really does. He reads it so quick, too. His diagnosis is super fast. He's quick to read, quick to react, great read and react skills. Actually can give you some coverage, too, on the back end. He's a little shorter, but, man, I really like him a lot. I like Pace. I think he fits multiple schemes, too. He can play 4-3. He can play 3-4. He can play whatever. I blame the schemes that both Wisconsin and the Hawkeyes run in general with that Big Ten does. They rely on their linebackers to go downhill, defend the run most of the time. They really do. But the thing about the Campbell kid is he's so adeptly good at coverage, man. I watch that dude drive on balls, sink low into coverage, intercept passes one-handed, get into passing lanes. It's insane, but I really like the Campbell kid. He's legit good. I don't know why his stock's falling. Probably because of what Anthony just said right there. It's probably got a lot to do with it. They don't think he's as a complete linebacker as, say, someone like a Drew Sanders. But I disagree. I think the kid's really good. I think he's going to surprise some people once that combine comes through. I love Pace too. That's why Greer will never draft him. You're probably right. It turns out like that every year for me too. Like a guy I really like it just doesn't fit our scheme, or they don't like him as much as we do, or something like that. Like it comes out, and sometimes they're right. Sometimes the guys who are doing the job, obviously they're right. They get paid for it. They see something in the kids that we don't. Maybe he's got a bad attitude and he's in a good locker room fit or something like that. See, because we're not there to see all of
Yeah, I
that
know
crap.
you're really high on Drew Sanders, but there's a couple other people that do what you do and saying that, oh, he's not really a good fit for the Dolphins. So it really comes down
Ah,
to what do the Dolphins think. But and
it
it's
does.
irrelevant anyway because the Dolphins would have to move up to get him anyway. So I just
It's
don't
starting
think
to
they
look
would
that
do it.
way. We got like, what is it, like 65, 64 days to go until the draft. His stock is skyrocketing right now. We had Kendall on the show. We talked about it previously that you'll need to trade up in order to get a guy like a Drew Sanders. You definitely will. It's just like that. My
Look at that going all
comparison
the
of
way
Jack
back to
Campbell
Jack Lambert days. That was a long time ago.
reminds me of either Blake Martinez or Jack Lambert in terms of the plays at the linebacker position. You know what? I can't disagree with the comparisons on both. I think he's spot on. He reminds me a little bit of both of those guys, like right there. Here you go, do a G-man right here. Do you think Pace is a three-down linebacker? How's his coverage skills? Yes, I do think he's a three-down linebacker, and yes, he low-key can cover. He can cover a little bit. He can drop into passing lanes. He can run with running backs out of the backfield. He's better underneath, obviously, on linebackers because he's not, than he is over top, because usually you're going to have a over top safety on the line on a tight end. But he can cover underneath, bro. He can cover the flats. He can cover in the seam a little bit. He's better coverage inside the numbers than he is outside the numbers, but he can do it. Would you guys
Well, we
be
both hit it at the same time. We both hit
fun.
it.
Would you guys be surprised if Miami draft a safety like Antonio Johnson at 51? No, I really would not, Anthony. But the Antonio Johnson, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But if there's a better safety on the board, like Sidney Brown, Jamie Robinson, obviously Helms, I think Jason Taylor too is going to be there later. JL Skinner, all those guys I like more than I like Antonio Johnson. But John Johnson's great. He's good. He scored a 90
So
on my
is there any
SRS.
one position that you'd be like shocked, fall out of your seat if the Dolphins announced like they took someone that, or you're like wouldn't be
No,
shocked by
nope. And the
nothing?
reason why is because I already know how this works. If you get into player 51, bro, I'm not gonna lie. If they get into player 51, and like I've seen it happen when I'm doing mocks myself, and I'm like, oh damn, look, there he is. He scored a 104 on my SRS. And I'll pass on him only because it's like I probably shouldn't have. You know what I mean? I strayed from my draft strategy. If they're going to go best player available at every pick, don't be surprised they get a wide receiver or someone like that in there. See, the reason why I'm saying Antonio Johnson is because he fits perfectly on what Vic Fangio wants his defensive backs to do. They have to be elite tacklers. Johnson is the best tackler in the draft. Well, that's a matter of your opinion. He might be a great tackler. I don't think he's the best tackler in the draft, though. As far as the safeties go, I really don't. I think the best tackler in the draft so far out of the safety position that I can see right now, man, and it's a toss-up right now between the Sidney Brown kid and the Helms. But I almost got to give it to the Helms kid, and don't forget about the Jamie Robinson. I think all three of those guys tackle better than Antonio Johnson.
Have you
I hear what
rated
you're saying. He's a
Antonio
good speed
Johnson
kid.
yet?
Yeah, I have him graded. He's a 90. I have him.
Oh, so
He's already
so you
done.
have him high. Yeah.
He's high. He's rated really high. He's a dog. He's a dog. Don't get me wrong. He can tackle, and that's definitely one of the keys. But I don't think he's the best tackler at the safety position. No way. He's good. He's solid. He's legit. He's an NFL tackler. He breaks down. He squares up, follows through, wraps up, all that good stuff. He tackles with consistency, but not like Helms. I'm sorry, that Helms kid.
So
As
you
soon as
wouldn't
he
even
hit,
fall out of your seat if the Dolphins like take a receiver
nope. That's what I
or
just said right there. Like I was going to talk about. I was like, if they go receiver of pick 51, I wouldn't even. I would laugh because everybody would be so pissed off. But excuse
yeah,
me.
no, I know. I was just saying. I mean, I don't think that would happen, but I was thinking of positions that may shock the Miami Dolphin fans if they made the.
Receiver, I think, would be one of them. People would be like, "What the hell?" But if it's somebody like a Parker Washington that falls to your lap at 51, I'm taking it. And that
Right.
dude graded out a high 104. I mean, he's one of the highest rated offensive players I have on my board right now. I'm making a big prediction. I think Miami goals all defense with the first 3 picks. They draft corner, safety, linebacker, and then draft a running back with one of the later picks. Dude, I'm with you, bro. I think it's a defensive draft anyway. All the talent is on the defensive side of the ball in this draft, in my opinion. It's very, very top-heavy defense. I want to go heavy free agency, veteran offensive line, veteran tight end, a veteran running back, even a veteran linebacker. I'd like to add in there, and a veteran nose tackle. But you have to go through free agency first. Obviously, we all know that crap. Then we can really get a definition on what those picks are going to be. But yes, Anthony, I wouldn't doubt that, not one bit. But I do see us doubling up something like that, like doubling up linebacker, maybe even doubling up that safety or cornerback position, either or getting one safety, one corner. So like you said right there.
And everyone, thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe for us. We're growing, so grow along with us. Fins up to all you guys. So anyway, like I was saying, so there is no one position. Even quarterback, nothing you'd be shocked at.
Nothing. Not even if they tried to get up there and draft, trade up. If they start making moves early, like the second round ish or something like that, early in the second round to get into the first round, if they do something like that and you start seeing them making some moves to get back into the first round, it's definitely for something that you don't think, like a quarterback. So be careful. No. Do you guys want Jalen Ramsey? I don't like him. He jaws the opposing players too much. Pump from FSU.
Well, and the jawing too much, I don't really worry about, but the ton of money and what you've been
from FSU.
Yeah, I know, that's funny. But yeah, the jawing I could live with if he's playing well on the field. But I do agree with the money. No, he's not a good fit for Miami than what you would have to give up to get him, because he's still so it's just not. To me, it's a pass. I agree.
I got one question with that. Does that come with keeping Xavier Howard with Jalen Ramsey? Because if that's yes, then hell yes.
Yeah.
But absolutely, dude. Can you imagine putting Ramsey with Xavier Howard, and then you still have someone like a Kohu or Nick Needham you can squeeze into the slot? Oh my God. Or draft one of those top tiered corners we're talking about. Oh my God. You're not passing on that.
Yeah, but you won't be having any picks if you go for Ramsey, because he's not a free agent. He's like,
yeah, I know. You'd have to make a trade. You never know what some of these guys will get traded for, you guys. You never know.
The Rams gave up 2 firsts for him or whatever it was back in the day. I don't remember. Like, I'm not a fan of either Jacksonville or the Rams, but I know they gave up a lot for him, at least 2 firsts or whatever. So
dangle them a future first or 2 future seconds, or
yeah,
and then like
too many needs, man. Too many needs on the team to fill out. But anyway, I agree with G, man. I would do a pass on that one. Now, if he became a free agent and would just be working people's contracts and he could come, then fine. But as far as the money taken on in that trade, no way. So, like I said, he's good, but we got so many other needs. Oh, of course, who doesn't want good football players? But I would say no. I have to ride with G-Man.
That dude's an animal, dude. Yeah, I would definitely love to have that on the football team. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Oh, I mean, there's no lie. I mean, the talent is tremendous, but
dude's awesome. I like his play, dog.
A good question, G-Man.
There's the one right here. JP, what defensive player in the first round can you see falling out of the first round? I'm gonna say Trenton Simpson. If he does, what would you give up trade for Simpson? I like Simpson. I have him rated very high too. I think it was in like I want to say the 90s or the 80s. But as far as trading up to something like to get someone like Simpson, I guess you could say I'm willing to give up maybe like a future 4th, maybe 5th to get, further up there to get him. Yeah, I had Simpson graded out at a 92. The SRS scorecard, which is damn good. Anywhere above a 90 is good. Anything in like the 80s, 85 range is like something that can workable, like a prospect that's, needs to be worked into shape more. No. But yeah, I could see something like us trading up to get something like a Simpson, sure. A player falling out of the first round, though, that's got that grade now, everyone's going to hate me, but I honestly think it's going to be Bijan Robinson. I could see Bijan Robinson falling out of the first round and into the top of the second. That's just my opinion.
Wow. I don't know. We'll see if your opinion's right, because everywhere I read, he's going to first round, and some people even have him going pretty high in the first round, and then others all have him going in the first round.
Yeah, that's how this always goes in the draft.
But then sometimes on draft night, running backs do fall for whatever.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. Like, this happens every year in the draft. Next week,
this is a trend of the least
Yep.
the past few
Next week he'll be the
years.
#1 pick of the overall draft. That's how this always goes, right? And then come draft day, though, that stock's going to take a tumble, just like every running back stock's going to, because no one wants to draft a running back in the first round. So they're always going to fall, in my
Yeah, I
opinion.
like my South Florida kids too. I still live down here in South Florida, so I like seeing the South Florida kids. But like I said, it just depends all on cost and stuff, and we got to build. We can't be giving all of our picks that we've been
Yeah,
giving
if it
up
comes
because
to
we.
taking a bunch of picks and money and assets away from the Dolphins, no, you can keep Ramsey. But if it's like, hey, we'll give him up for a future pair of twos and a third and Jerome Baker and Raekwon Davis, bye, I'll take that and take Ramsey. You see what I'm saying? So there is a
I
way to
know
do it.
I know you and Kendall have both said, talking about trading up. The one player that you guys had said us always long, Drew Sanders, is the one that would be circled on your list to trade up.
Yes, I would definitely trade up for Drew Sanders. Yeah, I would. I really would, because I think that that's the linebacker that's going to make an impact. He's a tone setter. He's a drive stopper. He's a great linebacker that can help this defense do what it needs to do. Like Kyle Crabb said, you don't think he's a scheme fit? I disagree. I think he's a scheme fit on anybody's defense. A guy like that, you can make work anywhere. Just like the Pace Jr. kid. A lot of people are scared on him. They're bullish on him because they're like, well, is he a 3-4? Is he a 4-3? He's a football player. So make it work. It's up to the coaching staff to put these guys in the
No,
right
I
position.
agree on that. A lot of times that gets overdone. Good football players are good football players. I mean, we talk. I mean, sometimes scheme is very, of course, but it's like it gets overdone sometimes. Good football players are going to be good football players. So they're going to
Absolutely.
come in and they're going to adjust to whatever they have to do and do the job. So
I mean, it's crazy. Like when you look at it, just think about it. Like Jerome Baker, what's he best at? What's he good at?
what's that? Oh, I'm sorry, Jerome Breaker. He's
Yeah,
good
what's
at
he good at?
blitzing and getting to the good at getting
Bam, you just named it. He's good at blitzing and getting to the quarterback. So you make him a
right.
third down situational pass rusher. If Jerome Baker's planning on staying on this football team, you need to do two or three things you have to do in order to stabilize your defense. You have to put a veteran who's a heat-seeking missile and a tackling machine right next to him in the inside, or you need to do what I've been saying to do for years and move the dude down to the outside linebacker. I think it's strong side, and you make him with his hand in the ground or standing up, I don't care, and you make him pass rush, especially situational, third downs. You make him a pass rusher. You're like, dude, I need you to go get the quarterback, retrace your steps, just go get the quarterback. And I bet you he'd be a different player. End up with like 7, 8, 9 sacks a season just off of that. I
Wow,
would move him.
that would
If
be
you want
nice.
if you want production out of someone like that, sometimes you got to get a little creative, and you need to move the dude down to, like I said, strong side, and just be like, listen, I just need you to go get the quarterback. This is what your job's going to be. Go get the quarterback. Everybody
And
else will handle
Anthony,
the
thank you for all your comments today. Hit a little Miami Dolphins song. That's for Anthony, all his good comments, man. I love South Florida Dolphin fans coming in the house. I feel like I'm alone down here in South Florida sometimes because everyone's moved. Like, Justin's out there in Colorado. Steve's in Houston. G-Man, I don't know where I think G-Man was in. He was gonna have to say, but there we go. But there's not many South Florida guys left anymore. There you go.
Here's a con. JP, I think Fangio is getting moved the defense towards more of a defense that relies on a stinger or a striker position instead of three line. Yes. Yes. I'm glad you said that. You're totally right. I think you're totally right, bro. I think they are moving to something more like that. Like someone who, that's why I kind of don't know what to do with. It's a puzzle in my mind right now what we're going to do with Brandon Jones, because what you're saying right there to me, Anthony, is like the stinger, like the rover robber role is what you're talking. I see what you're stepping in, and I agree. I think they need to get someone that's more like that, the traditional. They want the two linebackers. If you can just find two, you'll be okay. Then they make the other one, obviously, the deep back. The more deep backs I think you have that are quality, and I mean quality, Xavier Howard's, Javon Holland, you go throw some of these rookies in the mix. Wow, you can really start to do things with the defense on a Fangio defense now that it's great. And another thing you need to look for in a Fangio defense, just so you guys know, in a Fangio defense, you need your cornerbacks to also be kind of multiple. You need them to be able to be not just a press guy at the line of scrimmage, but also give you a little bit of zone, like some zone lurk reads, like a cover 2 lurk, things where they like sit back and they lurk on the play because you need them to be multiple
And
faceted.
you
You know,
need good high IQ football players that can switch on the
very
last second, show the
yep,
quarterback something pre-snap, and then do something
and do
totally
something
different.
else.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they have to be very high football IQ, like Rob just said. They have to have very good top end football instincts. Like you need to be instinctual in this defense because it's going to call for you to make plays like off script, off rhythm. You know, it's going to happen.
So G-Man checks in from Connecticut, Greenwich, Connecticut.
Connecticut,
Yeah. So we got
Connecticut,
some parts. We got the Northeast. We got you out west, and we got
Connecticut's
me down
cool.
south. Anthony, I think you're still living down here. So, oh no,
Connecticut's home
okay, he's
of
still in Florida. I
Connecticut's
live
home
on the
of the
west coast near
demigods.
Tampa.
There,
Dolphin
G
town.
man,
And
G
Jimmy
man. You
Jones.
probably do you like apathy?
Well, I think anywhere in Anthony, just like Cowboys and even in South Florida these days, there's a lot of Patriot fans and whatever. They all went there, so that's funny.
Greenwich, Connecticut. I'm loaded, dude. Lots of bread. Hell yeah, dog. I wish I was.
Yeah.
I'm in Colorado. Not a lot of bread. No, I'm just kidding. There's money here, but I don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of money down here in South Florida too. There's
Oh
money
hell
everywhere.
yeah,
But
there
yeah,
is.
Green, I know Connecticut.
I wish I lived in South Florida, dude, and like all I did is talk about the Dolphins and go to every Dolphins game in my suite. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. I've always liked the west coast of Florida, even though I'm on the east coast of Florida. Yeah, I'm in like Broward County. But I love it when I go over to the west coast and especially the Gulf and go fishing over there and all that
Ooh,
good stuff.
nice.
So
That
it's a
sounds
nice,
beautiful, man.
always
I
a
want to
nice
go. I
area.
want to go fishing over there. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Yep, I
great. I
heard
mean,
that
Florida's
Fort
great because we
Lauderdale
got freshwater fishing or, great
or
saltwater
saltwater. Yeah.
fishing,
Oh
of
god, that
course. Of
sounds
course, we're known
beautiful.
for saltwater fishing, but still good freshwater fishing too. So it's all good.
Why
But
we're at this is a great time for you guys to say, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to tell a friend and tell another friend. And I want to give a special shout out to Mama Mosley, who I know is going to be watching this show. Shout out to you. Thanks for watching every day. We love you here.
Thank you. That was for you, Mom. Thank you. I told him that, hey, we get one after view at least. My mom's been telling me, oh, I've been seeing your show I watch it in the evening, so that's cool. Hey, we
That's
get one
awesome.
view a day at least. Is Zach Campbell a perfect?
There you go.
Here's back to football.
Oh,
I
I'll
let
give you
you
one
hit.
more.
You can hit it.
Is Jack Campbell a perfect Fangio linebacker, JP, in terms of draft prospect? Yes. Yes, I think he is. I think he's a perfect scheme fit, perfect player. In fact, it's crazy. The more and more this process is going down, I have a real good, strong inclination that Jack Campbell is going to fall right into the Dolphins' laps. I think it's going to happen. I think that's maybe a target. I hope they're high on him the way I am. We'll find out. But yes, I definitely do think so. Dude, you can't buy a tool shed in Greenwich for $500,000. The market's crazy, dude. Come to Colorado, bro. The market's super crazy, and where I live in Colorado Springs, when I bought my house last year, this was like I think the second place in the nation that the housing market was booming here, and Springs was second in the nation. It was like a fight, dude. I was bringing 50 grand to the table. People were like, I got 100. So it was like you were out of houses left and right, dude. It was nuts. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, believe me, I guess a lot. It's just all over, I guess, because we always say here in South Florida that the market's crazy.
It's the same way he says right there. You can't buy a tool shed for $500,000. Same way here in Colorado. If you want a house, you better be willing to cough up $1 million if you want a really nice one.
Yeah, hey, that's how it goes. Yeah, no, it's just I'm in here now. A house that it's nice, but you're paying a lot of money for like you wouldn't believe it's like $1 million
I couldn't even
house
believe in
anymore,
South
or
Florida, dude.
600,000 or whatever house. You're like, really for
Oh,
that?
I'm sure. Down there
It's
on the
all
beach.
hey, but it's all good. But anyway, we're almost done for the day here, and we
Yes,
didn't
we
do a
are.
mock draft today, but we will do a mock draft tomorrow. The mock
Hell
drafts
yeah,
are fun.
G-Man. Come out here and play some golf with me then, buddy. We'll go
Play
links it
golf
up.
in the high. Yeah, I know. That's what I remember when the Rockies first started off. Everyone was, oh my God, people are hitting homers there like all the time
Oh,
because of
dude.
that thing.
I
Yeah.
call it the launch pad, bro. I go up there every year to Coors Field and I'll catch a Giants Rockies game, and it's every year, bro. Every
sorry,
year.
I hit the wrong comment.
Oh, it's all good. I was like, what? Another question? All right.
Yeah.
We love interacting with you guys. Please keep coming back, giving us questions. We want to talk draft with you. If you ever want to get in on the show, share your opinions, Don't be shy. Get up here. We'll send you the link in the comment section. You come in, be part of the show. We would love that. We
Well, that's
love
good,
Dolphins.
Steve. He says the cost of living in Houston is cheap,
It's
at least. So
very cheap. It's one of the cheapest places to live right now. I got a lot of friends who are actually taking off that lived here in Colorado and they live down that way now. I could see why. So
you could get a nice garage in Greenwich for $1 million. So
see, oh my god, dude, that's too much for me, bro. I'm out.
what's the link?
Link, Anthony, give dude the link.
What link, Anthony? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. You can get a nice. Okay, I got everyone. I'm all up to date now.
What's the link for the show?
Oh, okay.
In the comment section.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. Let's go Marlins. Oh yeah. Hey, he's a Marlins fan. But believe it or not, you know, I'm born and raised and still live here in South Florida. I'm a Boston Red Sox fan in baseball because there was no Marlins when I was a kid, and I just picked the Red Sox and I stuck with them ever since. So,
do you like Jazz though? Do you like? I like.
Oh yeah, he's good. And my son's telling me he's, I think he's going to be on
one hell of a player
on the cover of the video game for the show. So
that dude's badass, man. I like him a lot. Great young, enthusiastical baseball player. Like he plays the game the right way. I like that dude's game a lot.
Yeah, no, I do too. You're 100% right. And very confident and good stuff.
Very good hitter. Very low key good hitter. Great fielder. Yeah, he's good, bro. One of these days, that dude's gonna be a household name. One of these days, just might not.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to start to be with kids because he's going to be, from what my son's saying, he's going to be the cover of the NBA the show this year. So
the MLB the show.
Yeah, so he's going to be the cover boy of that. So we'll see. We will see because people. I know in Madden they say it's a jinx. I don't think the jinx applies in the baseball though. JP, where do you think? I think he probably stays in Green Bay, but we'll see what. Justin, he's asking you, where do you think Aaron Rodgers lands?
Oh man, your guess is as good as mine. But if I was to be a betting man and be like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen, I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. Watch out, Tennessee.
Oh wow,
Tennessee.
Well, they've been freeing up money for sure. Zach Sealer wants his money. That's true,
Zach
too.
Sealer should get his money, man. Give my boy the bag, bro. My boy deserves that bag. Zach Sealer, we got him poached off the Bengals practice squad, and I knew after 2 games, I was like, oh, my God, you got to pay this guy. This guy's going to be a stud. I knew it, bro. You got to give guys like this that have that heart and that infectious, that will, that desire, that energy, that play with that dog and that chip on their shoulder, like their hair is on fire. You got to give these guys their money, bro. He's a must sign. You know what? I want to sign Wilkins more than anything, but Zach Sealer is like literally right there, dude. We need Zach.
Zach might come a little cheaper if you have to decide.
He's cheaper, bro. You remember me telling you this. Remember what I said.
Yeah.
If they're really going to make some crazy moves, no one wants to admit it, but the Dolphins, they could pull the old Patriot thing and be like, we're not paying you. We're going to trade you. Never know what's going to happen here, bro. You never know.
A lot of big guys.
Dude,
he's great. I actually went to a game last year where he was the starting pitcher. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Kick Raekwon to the curb. You said it. I would dangle him in trade bait with Jerome Baker and Agba, and even to sweeten a deal. Someone's like, no, we don't want to take that. Toss in Noah Igbenogany. Right now, Noah Igbenogany being a toss in on draft talks and parties is definitely probably a thing. Raekwon is a dog. Yeah, a poodle. I agree, bro. He's not very – man, I just expected a lot more out of him. You know, like I told you, I expected Chris Jones-esque. Like he's a disruptor. He's a penetrator, a one-gap penetrator. I just want that dude going forward. That's why I don't think nose tackle's a good spot for him. He's more of a 3-tech.
So anyway, guys, if you are just joining us, as you know, we touched on the Joel Casper thing at the top of the show. But since I promoted that, yes, he is a new safeties coach for the Miami Dolphins. Had worked with Fangio last year and had 1 year overlapping with McDaniel in Cleveland back in like 2014 or 13, something like that. So they are prior relationships anyway. So thank you for joining in. Make sure you like and subscribe. And Justin, you got a comment up there. You can read it out.
Yeah, real quick on that one too. I know me and G-Man definitely been hammering Raekwon. Yes, he's a young kid still, but man, we're not getting much out of him. If you want to keep Raekwon, Anthony, I'm all for it. But he needs to be kicked out to 3-tech, and you need to bring in a true nose tackle, a true 1-tech, 340-pound minimum nose tech. Like you have a nose guard. You have to be able to take at least 2 blockers at once, and Raekwon just doesn't do that. G-Man, no motor. Yes, that's my whole problem with him. I think the issue with Raekwon, JP, is that he's very tall. Yes, he's 6'7", bro, and can't really get underneath the blocks of smaller guys. You said it, man. He's 6'7", and we knew that, and that's the guy. Flo, yes, remember he was pumped that we drafted Raekwon Davis.
Oh no, he was super. I mean,
I expect
Flores was about to do cartwheels if he could.
When you're that tall too, when you're 6'7", it's really not that hard to be like, damn, the play's breaking down. Put your damn hands up and block the pass at the line of scrimmage. He doesn't bat enough balls at the line of scrimmage. Like G-Man just said, he doesn't have a high motor for me, and it's not high enough. It's not consistent enough. I need you to play with passion. I need you to play with like a dog down there. You're part of the line of scrimmage. You have to go forward. You're one guy.
Like Wilkins and Zeeler and whatever, like those two guys. Yeah, you need
to play like that. If you played like that, then there would be no problem keeping you. But you need to play more like that. It's infectious. I need you to play more downhill. Obviously, maybe he's being played out of position too. That's why I suggest kicking him over to 3-tech. Raekwon is 350 pounds. No, he's not, bro. He's not. He's 319 pounds. He's a little smaller than you think. If he was 350, he'd be a perfect nose tackle, 1-tech, and we would keep him, and the strength and power probably wouldn't be as much of a problem.
I love how we get all these weights all different. But, all these sites have different weights and stuff. So
he's nowhere even close to 350 pounds. Bro.
Oh, I know. I believe you. I don't know. But anyway, hey, guys, normally I do a Throwback Thursday, but we decided to do draft, so I didn't even make a new banner. This is the same banner from last week showing Duper and Dick Bonacone, 2 number 85s that played for the Dolphins back. I always try to do a little Throwback Thursday flavor, but instead we've been looking into the future on this Thursday, looking to the draft. So it's all good.
I seen you put out that tweet about the Kader Kohu, you're right. You definitely don't need to be drafted to have an NFL career. You can be undrafted and get in this league. Kader Kohu's got a bright future ahead of him if he starts to figure things out quicker. You can't be so grabby in coverage. You can't be getting those penalties in the middle of the football field. And you definitely need to figure out this ball tracking, whipping your head around to make a play on the ball.
He went undrafted for a reason because he probably had some flaws. But like you say, football is a tough sport to learn on the NFL, especially when you're coming as an undrafted free agent, not from a major program. He just needs to know
what he needs to do and fix it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like that ball, like turning your head around to make a play on the ball is a big thing for me. You really need to whip your head around to be in position to make a play on it. I don't want you just trailing the guy every time and grabby, go up and try to block his arms out of. I need you to make a play on the ball, bro. So this dude has to get that together. I think he will get it together, but let's not crown him yet because he could come out next year and struggle.
Yeah. And back to Raekwon real quick. Steve says he's soft. I'm just trying to get up, and
he really is, bro. He's not as tough.
And then Raekwon is my whipping boy. So frustrated with him. So there you go. And then let's see.
That's harsh on Raekwon.
That's harsh. It's not soft.
It's just the scheme. It's not perfect. You could be right. It could be true. But we need to see a little more out of him. It could be he's being played out of position, and he needs to be a 3-tech. I've been saying it since we drafted him, bro. He needs to be a 3-tech. He's not a true nose tackle. Tua is going to be a black belt. Hassan Chop. Oh, I love that. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Get that dude teach him how to fall and take a couple of hits. Like, we need that dude. We need him around, man. Top right Tua. # top right Tua. Let's keep this dude up and let's win. It's rough, bro.
Well, on that note, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. I think how much better can you get than Tua is going to be a black belt to end the show on. So that's pretty good stuff. Thank you, Anthony and G-Man, of course, and Steve, as always, again, of the Fins Talk Sports Network. He's the host of a show every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m., Real Talk, Fins Talk. So you guys all rock. It's great having you here. Any last words, Justin, before we close out the show?
You guys ever see The Last Dragon? Show enough. Tua's got his glasses now. Just earned his show enough. He's got that glow. Come on, son.
Hey, I take your word for it because I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to take your word for it. So
Oh, that
we're all
movie's
good.
classic, bro. If you've never seen it, go check out That Last Dragon. That's a hella funny movie. Or Kelly,
right.
he used to always mention it in his tweets and stuff and use that show enough to sayonara, sucker.
Okay, I would have to go give it a look. Anyway, I
It's
take
funny,
your
dude.
word. Let's see. We got one more comment before I close out. Two is going to be black. Oh, wait, one more. Hold on.
Oh, I see it right here. JP, what is the number one? What one number in the Dolphins Ring of Honor that is retired twice? Oh, damn. That's a good
Well,
question.
there's only one number that can be retired, but he's probably thinking 13, Jake Scott and Dan
Yeah,
Marino.
that's the one I was going to say, too. I was like, it's got to be Jake Scott and Marino, right? It has to be, right?
But yeah, it's been honored. But yeah, so, but there's 13. But they should have given both. They should have given both, like Jake Scott and Marino. Once they retired it for Marino, they should have said, "Well, it's also we're going to throw Jake Scott in there and stuff." So
Raekwon is cool. Riding dirty, deuces. Try to catch me riding dirty. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see.
Deuces, G-Man, Anthony, Steve, and all you guys. Thank you. Make sure you join us tomorrow. Hopefully we can do a mock draft, have some fun.
We'll do a mock tomorrow.
Yeah. Justin may start the show by himself for a little while until I can, because I got something I have to do.
We'll do two mocks tomorrow. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sounds good. So, all right, guys. Fins up as always. Deuces. Thank you as always. See you next time. Like and subscribe.